So Tito talked after today's game, and it's man, the offensive struggles have been just. I voiced my opinion earlier when I went on a rant during the game recap from today's game, but I believe we are currently sitting at a 1.38 BPA when we have runners in scoring position. Like, we are one of the worst in the league at that. And that's the thing. And that's the thing about offense. It's so killing to me. And I think it was about a week ago, we had 5 innings where we had a guy on second or third, and we could not score. And we've had bases loaded so many times this year so far. And we get 0 runs out of any of that. And it's livid, it's frustrating, it's words that I can't even describe right now. And it just keeps happening. And our defense, yes, it has been great. But then you have bad defensive days like the last 2 days. And then you truly see, oh, your defense isn't doing good. Well, your offense isn't going to be able to pick it up. So he does say here we want our guys to be more aggressive. We want our guys to be aggressive, especially with fastballs. Then they started spinning it down below the bat. That is when it got a little tough for us. So, in layman's terms, he's saying that we're chasing balls. Which, how do I put this? Watch TJ Friedel go up to bat. He loves to do that. He loves to chase balls. And the problem with chasing it is, obviously, you get into an 0-2 count very quickly. Next thing you know, you're chasing a third pitch, which is a wild pitch, down below. You're chasing it in the dirt, and now you get strike 3. And we see this way, way, way too often this year so far. Yes, you want to be aggressive, right? But you want to be smart with being aggressive. And that is, I think, our biggest issue is just the concept of being smart and aggressive. Yes, being aggressive is awesome because you don't want to just sit there and do nothing. And obviously, you don't want to, miss the good pitch that you could hit and actually, do something with. But at the same time, you don't want to just, it just feels like it's like a lottery pick whenever our guy is he going to swing here? Is he not going to swing here? Is he going to chase it? Is he not going to chase it? And then he just ends up striking out. Or he ends up hitting it a fly out to, center field. Something like that. And it's frustrating, man. It really is. And again, I agree you have to be aggressive. But at the same time, we got to stop chasing balls. That's really what it comes down to. I mean, I've seen some insane chases this year so far. Some wild pitches, left-hand corner, outside the strike zone, in the dirt, crazy top of the strike zone, top left of the strike zone, and guy chases it. Should never chase it. The one guy I will say who chases a lot that really just kind of irks me is Gino. I love Gino so much, and, obviously Gino, he came here for a reason, to hit dingers and, grand slamages. But there are some times this year so far, he has chased some idiotic pitches. And as a batter, you're always going to get 1 or 2, right? That's just kind of how it is. But there's some really idiotic pitches he chases. And I think it's because he's, again, as Tito says, being aggressive. But I think it's also because he's such a good, grand slamager. He has so much power behind his his bat, that I feel like it kind of, I won't say drains his brain, but it kind of, keeps his brain from, going going too much on certain pitches. And swinging when it just really just makes no logical sense. And that's why I get a lot of the hits so far this year. And now you did have a home run a week ago. But most of his hits so far this year, Gino-wise, has been singles. And I feel like it's because he chases these really wild pitches. And he ends up, yes, he has the power to get that bad boy over the, first baseman into right field, or it's the center field over the second baseman. But he ends up chasing a wild pitch, and yes, sometimes you get lucky, sometimes he just strikes out. So I think there's a level. There's a level of being smart and being aggressive. And I feel like with baseball, especially with the good teams, with the Dodgers and the top offensive teams, I'll say, is you have to walk that tightrope. And you got to master that tightrope. And that's something we have not done. And we continue to have that problem over and over and over and over again, is we cannot master that tightrope. We cannot walk that tightrope correctly. So that's my rant. That's my opinion. Obviously at the end of the day, we still have a long season to go, and that's not really my major concern. I mean, a defense is only going to get better, right? This team is obviously, once we get back Hunter Green, Lodolo's coming back soon. Once that gets figured out, I'm not scared of this team not being successful. I think this team will be very successful. But I think there is a level of, if we want to be successful this year and in the future, these are things that need to get corrected. And just being like, well, yeah, we tried to be aggressive, but yeah, it is what it is. It didn't work out for us. When they just they started doing some tough pitches and it was too much for us. That can't be accepted. We can't accept that type of play. So that's just my rant. That's my old man rant, whatever you want to call it. It's just frustrating. It really is. But at the end of the day, this is just like football, baseball, any sport you're in. You have to make corrections over time. If the teams that cannot correct and cannot figure things out and make adjustments, those are the teams that are failures. So this is going to be, I guess, our quick adversity trip here to see, can we make these adjustments? Can we figure this out? Hopefully. I think we will. But I think it's going to take a lot from Tito. It's going to take a lot from this team. Because offensively, and again, I don't think you're ever going to see this adjustment, or truly this adjustment, from someone like Elly De La Cruz. Elly De La Cruz, there's a reason why his 25% whiff rate, 15% strikeout rate, that, I think that's just Cruz. And I think there are some players who, when they're that good and he's obviously one of the best shortstops in the league, if not the best shortstop in the league. And when he does connect, he is amazing. And I don't think Gino, I'd say the same concept here. I don't think you're going to figure out anything there when it comes to stopping him from chasing some balls. And, you're not going to perfect those two guys. That's what I'm trying to say. I feel like Cruz is always going to be Cruz. But there's other guys like Friedel, like Matt McClain, like Spencer Steer. I feel like over time you can get better. There's always a step up here. But anyway, tell me down below your thoughts, opinions. See you guys in the next one. Peace.